Hello. I can already see some friendly faces, so that makes me very happy. We'll wait for a few more to join and then we'll get started, but it is lovely to see you all. I will turn occasionally to look at the other screen because I will be trying to keep an eye on any messages. Hello, Christine. Hey, Kim. Look after me. All will be good. So just bear with me 2 seconds. I will be there in a sec. Well, I'm not sure why I can't see it, but I can see your comments on here, which will be fine for now. Hey, Hannah, Pam, Catherine. Oh my goodness, it's so lovely to see you all. It really is. Helen, hey. Dawn. I feel like the master's watching now, and the boss is in as well. Hi, Gwen. So today, for those of you who don't know or never seen it, we are going to make the big cracker, and it is pretty big. So let's get started. The famous craft room with no pegboard. The craft room is a mess at the minute. You're seeing a very tiny bit of it. But hey, let's go make a big cracker. I will need to redo the thing. I am just trying to get you up on here as well, but it doesn't seem to like it today. Just bear with me for 1 second. There it is. I can see it now. Yay. Hello, Amanda. Hello, Maria. Oh, there's lots and lots of you. Oh, can anybody else not hear me, or is it just Jane? And is it just when I went a little bit quiet? Give me a thumbs up if you can hear me. That'd be lovely. Also, I can't work out how to turn things off on my phone, so bear with me a minute. Hopefully you can still hear me, and hopefully my phone will stop making noises. I will get better at this. This is really my first proper Facebook Live, and I'm not going to lie, I'm absolutely petrified. Yes, I know I've done telly, but they look after me. They do everything. And here's me just in my little craft room. Fabulous. Thanks, Ariana. Lovely to see you as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip the camera and then we'll get started. Well, there's a few more of you joining at the moment. My phone is still beeping and I don't want it to. Maybe that'll work. Who knows? Oh, so lovely to see so many of you. It really is. You've absolutely made my day. So let's get making. So for those of you who've just joined, this is the bad boy that we're going to make, this great big cracker. So, oh, thanks, Jacqueline. That's really sweet. And Diana, you guys are gorgeous. So before I flip you, in fact, no, let's flip you, get that done, and then we can get making, because that's when I am in my happy place. Hello, Karen. Thanks, Dawn. I think I've done it. Bear with. Right, let's get you guys flipped. Now I want to go that way. I want to do that, and then I can see where I'm putting you. There we go. You get to see my craft desk. And I can tell you, it has not been this tidy for a long time. So to make the big cracker, what we need is 2 pieces of There we go. We need 2 pieces of glitter card, and we're going to use those for the body of our cracker. And then we're going to use some of the rose gold. So I'm working with the rose gold today. I've got the rose gold non-shed glitter. I've also got, excuse the crackle, and I'm also going to use 2 pieces of this delicious rose gold mirror card. So all of this is obviously from Pink Frog. Kim's popped some links in as well for you. I'll pop some links up on my page afterwards. This stuff is amazing to work with. It's the best quality, cuts beautifully, scores beautifully, and you'll see as we work with it today. So let's make the body of the cracker first. I hope you can see. I'm just going to check the messages. Oh, have I not unmuted the thing? Right, bear with. Oh. Do you know what? I'm just going to cope with any noises, and just know that you've got this, and I'll work on it next time. So bear with me. Let's pop you back in there. Be good. Let's get you in here and we can do this. There we go. Hopefully you can see that. Excellent. Right, let's get making. So like I say, 2 pieces of glitter, 2 pieces of mirror. We'll start with the glitter. I'm going to grab a scoreboard. If you haven't got a scoreboard, you can use this doing a ruler, but you will need a scoring tool. I find this much easier on a scoreboard. The card is 12 by 12, so it's 12 inches by 12 inches, Karen. Fabulous. Right, so with the glitter, and these I'll share these are the instructions. They're quite brief. I'll pad them out a little bit, but it's got all your measurements on there. They are in the Pink Frog inspiration group. I will also share them on my pages and make sure they're available for anybody who wants them. Always just drop me a message and you can have whatever you need. So just yell if you can't see anything. I can't get the video up, but I can see your messages, so that's the important part. There we go. So we are going to score this at 5 3/4 inches and at 11.5. Okay, and we are going to do the same on the other piece as well. So just 5 3/4. Have we got anybody making this at home today? I know some of you have already made it. I've seen some great samples already with it. It's absolutely fabulous. We'll just move the scoreboard out of the way for a second. We're just going to then bring this in and fold it. And the same with the other piece. And we're going to join these 2 together. Now, I'm going to use red liner tape. The reason being is glitter card, and the same when we get to the mirror card, is non-porous. So any of our wet glues just take a long time to adhere. So I would definitely suggest a dry glue, a tape, and potentially, for me, it's red liner tape all the way for this, because you just get that instant stick and you're done and you're good to go. Asma, can we get them in centimetres? The reason I do this one in inches is because the card is in inches, and this way you get no waste whatsoever. I'll have a play though and see what I can do for you. Remind me though, because I have got a manic couple of days. So just drop me a message and I'll see what I can do for you. But you'll probably just have to trim your card a bit. And one of the things I love about this project is I haven't wasted any of that beautiful, beautiful card. For now, that's our base. But you'll see, if we put it together, she wafts it in front of the thing, that is starting to be a cracker. In fact, we will put the tape on this end ready. And that will be good to go a little bit later. I love the fact I've picked a massive project to do today. So, you know, you'll probably only see bits of it in the camera, but we'll get there. You know what? Crafting is about fun. Crafting isn't always about getting it right. Crafting's about having a go. And for me, that's really important. So I need to grab a trimmer, and I need to also get some of our mirror card. So the mirror card, again, you need 2 pieces of this, but you're going to cut them in half. So you're just going to cut them to 6 inches. And at that point, you will have 4 of these. Okay, I've already prepped one to save a little bit of time. Although, this is really weird. I've got as much time as I like. I'm not used to this at all. So, yeah, Izzy, red liner tape. It's like a double-sided tape, apart from it's a little bit thicker and it's super sticky. So it's great for construction projects. It's got a really, really good stick to it. Fab. If I've missed any questions, give me a shout. So we go back to our instructions and we score along the 6-inch side. Again, same measurements, 5 3/4 and 11.5. Okay. We then turn it, so rotate counterclockwise. I have to sit there in my head and go, that's clockwise, that's counterclockwise. The reason you want to do this is you want all your pieces to face the same way in a minute. So turning it counterclockwise just means they'll all match up when we get to the next bit. At this point, we score it on 2 inches, 3 3/4, and 5.5. And we do that on 4 pieces. Like I say, I've already prepped 2, but I will do it on this second piece. So again, 5 3/4. And again, these measurements are written down, so you don't have to remember them. We will share them. We will make sure you've got them. 11.5. At this point then, we score at 2, 3 3/4, and 5.5. Fabulous. That's it for the board for now. Fabulous. So at this point, what we're going to do is just score, well, not score, just fold on all of our score lines so we can just see them a little bit more. Okay, so there's one lot. And there's the other lot. Okay. So if there's a tricky bit, this is it, but it's not really tricky. What you want to do is fold it in. So for me, I think of this skinny bit because that's the bit that's a bit different, and I fold it in so it's like this, and I do that on both pieces. Okay. We then do need a ruler and a pencil, and we start from this end, and I'll show you this again as another visual in a minute. We score at 2 from the end. We then go to the middle where that score line is. So can you see that score line there? And we mark at 2 one side and 2 the other side. And then from this last score line, we mark at 2 as well. Okay. I'm going to put some dots here just so you can see then where I'm going. And that one. You're then going to grab your scissors and go from this one to this one. This one to this one. Yeah, so you're always going from the outside into the score line. That's how I remember it in my head. If anybody's got a different way to remember it, that's fine. And this one goes out to there, and then we go across. And then at that point, you can start to see the makings of our cracker. I don't know if this helps at all if we turn this round. That's it when it's open. So if I do that and turn that, that's exactly what we've done. So we've done 2 and gone across and up and down and across. We'll do one more piece so you can see it. Right, sorry Kim, okay. Let's have a look. Oh, has my camera turned itself off? No. Let's see where it is. Being short isn't very helpful at this point. Just bear with me a second. I want to be able to see, but I can't. To the top of the board. Thanks, Diana. Fabulous. There we go. Hopefully that's a little bit better. Don't know why I can't catch up with the video. It's been really weird. So I can't see what you guys are seeing. Okay, don't worry. We can do it as many times as we need to. Tell you what. If I bring that this way a little bit. There we go. There we go. How's that? God, if anybody's still with me, you deserve a medal. I'll make medals next time. How's that? Okay, so we've folded this up. We're going to measure from the, I always start on the right hand side. We're going to measure at 2 inches. And then from the centre line, I'm just drawing it in so you guys can hopefully see it a little bit better. 2 from the other side of that, and then 2 from this side. Thanks, lovelies, you're amazing. And then when we cut, we're going to cut from there across that way, there to the middle, then that one to the middle, and then this last one from there just to the score line. If you really want to get your lines straight before you cut them, feel free to draw them in. I'm happy with a freehand cut. By the time we put the cracker together, it'll sort itself out. So hopefully at this point, you have now got, we've done 2, and I've already done 2 extra pieces. So we've got 4 pieces. So we've got both ends of our cracker at this point. So now we can start to put it together. Okay, so again, just going to tidy up. Red liner tape. For this, I could use the one that's 12mm wide, but for me it gets a little bit tight and I worry about the tape sticking out. So I tend to use the next narrower one. So I use the 9mm one. I just find it easier. So we need to put tape on each of our little tabs. So with red liner tape, because it's got this red line, because it's got this covering on it, which we'll lift off in a minute, it's quite tough. So you do need to get your scissors on it. It won't tear. It doesn't gunk your scissors up though. Okay, and then we'll do the same with this one. Okay. There we go. So I think I've got, yeah, I've got tape on all my ends. So I'm going to join these together. So with red liner tape, if you find it's not adhering to your surface or it's hard to get your tabs off, if you give it a rub, this is a little silicone tool. So Pink Frog stock these as well normally. But yeah, give it a good rub. And then if you've got a pokey tool, out there to my cricket girls, your weeding tool will work fab for this. I tend to be lazy. I'll just use my nails. But if you go from the middle of the piece rather than the end, it tends to be a little bit easier. So we're now going to line this up. So I go with the biggest piece first, and this bottom piece should sort itself out. I've got a bit of tape sticking out, so I can just tab that in. Thank you. There we go. Okay, so we've now got that piece. I'm going to do the same with this piece. Like I say, there we go. Just give it a rub down. There we go. So now we need to start assembling this, okay? So the easiest way I found to do it is to now stick this big piece to this little piece. So what I need to do is I need to put tape all the way along that edge. So we'll go all the way along. There we go. So again, we can start to lift that up. Now, if you're worried about lining this up, is you can do this in sections. Let me bring this over a little bit. I know this is a really big project. So if I just bring this up a little bit, so I haven't taken all my tape off, but what I can do is start to line this up. Yeah. So I'm going to pop this at this end and pop it here. And then where I've got it lined up, I can pull the tape from underneath. So that way I haven't had these massive pieces of paper that I'm thinking, oh, am I going to stick it down straight? It's already done it for me. And even that little bit will come off as well. There we go. It's just, I didn't take the liner off the tape. That's my bad. There we go. So you can see that's already starting to come together really well. Okay. So let's flip it and do the other side. Hello. That's the other side. Well done, Claire. So apart from, I've now got my tab on the wrong side. How have I managed that? I've done that before. I think it'll be all right. If not, we've learnt something and I can't remember what to do. But we'll be fine. So what we'll do is we'll stick this on. In fact, it will be fine. It's always a solution. Card and paper are quite forgiving, which is a good job. Especially like me, if you can't remember things very well and you have to change them and make them up as you go along. So what I will do, I might cut that bit off in a minute. So again, let's just get that going. We'll pop that there. We're going to have to start that there, aren't we? So it lines up. As long as you line it up, I think it's going to be fine. If it's not, we'll find a solution and make it work. Okay, just make sure it's still lined up all the way along as you're pulling that tape off. Okay, so at this point, if you were making these to sell, as long as you knew people could take this tape off, these are great to send out at this point, because she says, Brave, I'm just going to take it off camera a minute, they will fold flat, so you can send them out flat. Okay, so what we're going to do is we are going to get this now to stick together. So one of the easiest ways to do this is, it should come together itself because all your score lines will meet up. I just need to make sure this end works itself out. So what we'll do is we'll take that tape off, we'll take that tape off, okay, and we'll bring those together. Okay, in fact, I'm going to cut this little bit off because the way I've done it is just going to get in the way. And we don't need it. Not really. We're good. And then all we need to do, I'm going to flip it a little bit again. Take your tape off. And again, if you're worried about lining it up, I mean, it should line up because all your scoring is square. And that should just come across and stick there. And then your last little bit, pull that tape off. And it should just lie flat. So let's get rid of all this red liner tape cover. So yeah, so Izzy, if you look, it's just the liner that's red. The tape is just like thick double-sided tape. Hello Nissy, lovely to see you from the US. That's very exciting. So let's have a look. So basically that is your cracker done. So how quick and easy that is. So all we need to do now is just pop some ribbon round. So we'll find some pretty ribbon. So just squidge your ends in, tie some ribbon or twine, anything you want really. Now, you know what we're going to do, I knew there's one more thing, before we actually tie it together, if you're going to add anything else to it, so if you're going to decorate any of the panels, I'd suggest you do it at this stage while it's flat. It's a lot easier to stick things to before it's 3D. So anything like that. So what we're going to do is we are going to grab some more of our mirror card, but we're also going to grab this fabulous pattern paper. So this pattern paper, I've actually printed this off. So I have just printed this off. This is using the Pink Frog 160 GSM Super Smooth paper. Anybody who has seen me on TV at all knows that I absolutely adore this paper. It prints beautifully. For me, this gives me such a professional finish, and it feels like a paper pad. It really does. But the great thing is because I'm printing it myself through, you know, however you want to do that, you know, wherever you download from, whatever projects you do, basically you can do it big, or like I've done here that we're going to do the tag with, I've resized this pattern and it's really small. So it's great because you can bring all your elements together and have them matching, whereas sometimes if you've got a paper pad, you've got it in either the small size or the big size, but not both. Or there's a pattern you really like. So if you wanted to make 12 of these crackers the same, chances are you'd have to buy 4 or 5 paper pads to get that one sheet. So there might be 2 or 3 sheets of that pad in there. So I'm just laughing at Ellen, who said she never knew she had a ribbon obsession until she was making these. Yeah, me and Super Smooth do need to get a room. I love it. Don't you diss my Super Smooth, Miss Kimberly? So what I'm going to do is I know how big I want to have this panel because I'd looked at it beforehand. It says gold on there, but we're going to use rose gold. So let's grab a trimmer. And with the rose gold, I'm going to cut this down to 11.5 inches. By 5 inches. Okay, and then the paper I want to be, so I'm just going to trim a tiny bit off that end first because I don't have a printer that does edge to edge. It is just a lovely little bog standard printer. So that's going to be at 11. And again, I'm going to cut a little bit off the bottom just so it's, I've got pattern on all of it. And that's going to be at 4.5. Again, these measurements are available. Okay. So we've then got our panels. So again, because I'm sticking this to our rose gold mirror card, I'm going to use double-sided tape again. So I'm going to use our red liner. I'm going to use the slightly thicker one this time. So it's exactly the same. It's just a little bit broader. And again, just for speed. So Pink Frog do the tape in 12mm, 9mm, 6mm and 3mm. So I tend to have all of them out on my desk, and just depending what project I'm using on will depend. But you know, I just use the one that fills the gap that I'm working on, basically, to get extra rubbish in the way. So again, we'll give that a little burnish. Ode to Dawn, obviously. So Elspeth, do I change the settings on my printer? No, I just send it to print, and for me the quality of the paper along with the quality of kind of the artwork that I pick seems to work for my printer. However, obviously every printer is a little bit different. I'm just going to trim this a little bit. I've just got, obviously need a new trimmer blade. But like many of you, I'm like, oh, I'll get a few more cuts out of it yet. So again, I'm just going to line this up so it's got a little border on all sides and is as straight as possible. The other thing I'm going to use just to make this pop a little bit is I'm going to use foam pads. Now these are fab because they're massive. They're like what are they? They are an inch square basically. So if, like me, you like popping panels, like the full panel of your card front up, this is a great way because they're really quick and easy to use. There's no way I would be doing this with the teeny tinies. I have patience for many things, but for other things I have no patience whatsoever. I think we're all like that. We look at something and go, oh, I couldn't spend time doing that. And yet, you know, some people love to colour. You know, I love just putting elements together on a card. Yeah, as long as it works for you, that's what's important. You'll see they peel off really quickly and easily as well. Let's bring our big cracker back in, and we will pop that panel on the front. So you'll see this is a lot easier to do while it's still flat. The other thing we'll do is we'll make a little tag. So again, like I say, I've printed that again, but a little bit smaller. So I did like 9 to a page, and I've cut one of those out. What we'll do is we'll grab a bit of I've got a bit of excess gold, rose gold here. That should make a little tag. Fabulous. So there we go. you go off there. So again, I'm using the red liner tape because I'm sticking it to a mirror card. You could use your EVA, your Pink Frog EVA, but it'll just take a little bit longer to settle and set, just because it's going onto a non-porous surface. So for me, I just find it easier just to use some of the red liner. So what we'll do, so I'll pop you on that end. So we'll pop you on there. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is I will use the trimmer just to square that off. And then what I would do this by eye. I really would. If you're a measuring person, measure it. But what I do, I hope you can see this, is I would cut it, okay? And then to make sure the other one was the same, I take the piece that I've just cut off and use that as a template. Okay, and there you go, you've got a cute little tag. I need a hole punch. There you go. One will do, and we can make a hole in it. In fact, I wonder if I'm going to make a bigger hole because the ribbon is quite big on this. And push it all the way down so it's still got some. So the reason I pushed it down as far as I have is I still want to have plenty of card here so it doesn't rip when I go to pull it together. So ribbon, any ribbon you've got in your stash. I think this was some Christmas ribbon, and looking at the thing, I think it was from B&M last year. But Pink Frog do have some ribbon on their website, I think. So now we can start to put our cracker together. So obviously I would fill it with goodies and things like that. And if it wasn't quite full, I'd pad it out with some bubble wrap or some tissue paper. But for this, we're just going to tie it together. Again, just nice and slowly, make sure it's nice and square, and just pull it together. Just ease those edges in, make sure that that's being nice and square, which because we scored it and made sure that we'd folded it all, that should come together. There we go. Nice and easily. But just tease it. This is wired ribbon, so I'm not even going to tie it. It will just sit as it is. And that means you can kind of undo it and finish it off later. And we'll do the same with the other side. So again, just tease it in. We'll use the ribbon to do that with us. Just nice and slowly, just let it find its own way. Don't force it too much. It will go. And then just square it up if it needs it. If it's just popped in a little bit like it did there, just pop it back out and you'll find that it'll be absolutely fine. So there we go. Let's trim that off. But yeah, wired ribbon's fab for stuff like this because it kind of looks after itself a little bit. So if bow tying isn't your forte, this is a great way because you can just kind of like twist it and make it look cute. And again, just square it up. Let's put a little bit of ribbon through our tag. That's why I put a big hole on it, because I knew that this was thick ribbon. Okay, and again we'll just tie that off. you know what, we're going to do these as like little swallowtails. Now to do that, I would always fold it in half and cut into the middle. So again, you'll get even bows. And it's like one of those things that we probably all know how to do and then forget and think, oh, how do I make them even? And if you're like me, you've spent ages trimming one, then trimming the other, and that is the way to do it. What we'll do is we'll grab a couple more foam pads and pop them on there. And they can go. That can now go. Let me just get rid of some rubbish. I promise there's a bin under the table. I am not throwing it on the floor. Promise, promise, promise. And there you go. There is your tag and there is your cracker. So that is how you make a big cracker, basically. For those that have got dies, so if you've got any metal dies that go through your machines, the glitter card will cut beautifully, so will the mirror card. For my Cricut girls and the girls who've got other electronic die cutting machines, this stuff cuts like butter. And what I'll do is I'm going to do some crackers, so I'll share those on the Pink Frog group and on the Cricut groups as well. So I know we've finished a little bit early. Is everybody all right? Does anybody want me to go through anything again? The little tricky bit of the measuring and cutting, we can do that again. Give me a shout. Have I missed anything? Look at you lovelies. Thank you so much for coming along. You have no idea how much I appreciate it. I will flip the camera in a minute if we're done this way. I think we are, aren't we? Should we flip it? Should I talk to you all? Now I can see your comments a little bit more. She says, where's the thing? Perfect. Let's get you out of there. Well, the good news is I survived. Wasn't perfect, but you know what? That's okay. We did it. We made a cracker, and my lives will get better. I have a few things to learn, but we're always learning. So yeah, if you've got anything else you want to see, anything you want to see from me, anything you want to see from the lovely Dawn. Lovely Dawn is back on Wednesday with a live. She is doing a poppy themed remembrance card. It's beautiful. And I will be back on, look, I've had to write everything down. I'm back on Monday the 11th. Off the top of my head, we are looking at the stencil film. I could be wrong, but who knows? But yeah, thank you so much for joining me today. I am going to disappear unless anybody else has got some more questions. Speak now. Yeah, we are. We'll put the instructions up. I'll also share them on my personal pages as well. I'll make sure Kim knows where they are and everything. So yeah, we're good. Thank you so much. You've absolutely made my day. I am going to disappear. Thank you so much. Goodbye.